John Calipari, a very high-profile basketball coach at one of the highest-profile basketball programs ever, Kentucky, has bailed on that school, and he's going to Arkansas, which is a second to third-tier program, which was very good recently, thanks to another good coach who now has gone to USC. John Calipari, I have mixed feelings about him, always got very defensive and uncomfortable when you sort of questioned his vision, or I would call it his salesmanship. And Kentucky got tired of it too, so he bailed to a second-tier basketball program. He had a great recruiting pitch. It worked for a while. Many things do. Dating works for a while, but eventually marriage, even studies show, you live longer. It's better for you. But his recruiting pitch, it landed top recruits, and those basketball prodigies would spend a whopping 5 to 6 months with Calipari, and he would brag, I make them rich in the NBA. Yeah, but Kentucky fans want to be enriched in March, and his teams kept getting bounced in the first round. Again, Nick Saban, you spend 3 to 4 years, Nick could change your life. Harbaugh could change your life. Great college football coaches. Dabo Swinney can change your life in 3 or 4 years. The arc of it, the direction. Nobody's changing anything in 6 months. And those Wildcat recruits, let's be honest, they're basketball prodigies. Had they gone to Kansas, Syracuse, UConn, they'd have been rich in the NBA as well. What I found out about Calipari, he's got a vision. It worked briefly. It doesn't work anymore. You can't win with 18-year-olds facing UConn and Purdue and Carolina's 23-year-olds. You can't. And all Kentucky basically said was, hey, John, we need more from you in March. And that made John and his sales pitch very uncomfortable. If I was Kentucky, I would call Jay Wright and I would offer him whatever it takes. He builds teams and builds young men, not recruiting rankings. Bill Belichick's the best football coach many believe ever. His entire mantra was, we don't just collect talent. Recruiting is a sales pitch. It's part of college sports, and I respect it and respect how good Calipari was at it. But the truly great coaches have a second gear beyond the pitch, and I've yet to see it from Calipari, who now bails on an all-time program for a fine program. There is a big difference. I saw this story come up last week. Bronny James, who played at USC, averaged about 5 points a game. Athletic kid, gotten better as a shooter. Remember, he had that cardiac arrest, so there's been kind of an ascension since that. It's been a slow build. He entered the NBA draft, and there's those that suspect that the Lakers would be interested or a team would be interested drafting Bronny James to attract LeBron. For all of those that are bothered by that, you haven't seen this in college football recruiting when you sign a marginal player from a high school because there's a great player at the high school the following year. Sometimes you sign a cousin or a brother of a great player who's a marginal player. Colin, the only reason he would get drafted is because his dad is LeBron. Sort of the same reason you got into law school, because your dad went there. You know how many people have asked me that I know through the years, can you get my kid an internship at Fox? Connections matter. They always have. The Lakers aren't moving up to the lottery to draft him. He's not that kind of player. But I called one NBA scout over the weekend, and he said, smart kid, hard worker. He'd be a good player on a great team full of smart guys. He'd bring him off the bench. He is getting better as a shooter. He is athletic. All right. I mean, the NBA's got 2 rounds of draft picks outside of your occasional Jokic, Draymond Green. And a lot of guys drafted in the second round that disappear into the ether. If it energized LeBron, if it got LeBron to your city, I mean, I was thinking about this. LeBron can get a $180 million max contract. The Lakers could give him that. If Bronny got drafted, he'd make $1 million in the second round. So essentially, you'd be paying LeBron $181 million, not $180 million. Dan Hurley's son, he's on the bench for UConn. Who cares? It's cool. Dad and son. Giannis's brother. Never had a start for the Milwaukee Bucks. He's on their bench. If it gave LeBron energy and the Lakers signed him, Lakers have plenty of length. They could use athletic young shooters. Bronny James, an ascending player. Sometimes I see, every time you drive down the freeway and you see a plumber's truck, you ever notice it's like Johnson and Sons? Oh, dad's handing off the business. How are the Lakers owned? The dad passed away and gave it to his kids. Like, I'm sorry, but the same people outraged by connections are the ones that constantly seek getting their kids ahead through connections. An internship here, getting into a college they don't quite qualify for here. Yes, it's the way the world works. It's okay. Bronny isn't a dynamic playmaker. It's not what he is. His dad is. That's okay. Sometimes the kid is better than the dad. Barry Bonds or Ken Griffey Jr. That happens sometimes. The kid is better. A lot of times the dad is better, and the kid gets drafted because of the dad, or the kid can get an opportunity because of the dad. Okay. Lakers aren't giving away the future for Bronny. But again, I called a scout, one, and he said, yeah, he's an athletic kid. He's getting better because of the physical thing he had. It's been a slow build, slow process. He'll enter the transfer portal. Somebody will probably pick him up. Somebody at the transfer portal would. But, the idea anybody's now outraged because the Lakers would consider it, with I think it's the 55th pick. Who cares? Everybody's helping family. Who cares? Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.